Okay, today, October the 16th, entitled Spread the Word. Some people with exceptional minds quickly grasp virtue or produce it within themselves, but other dim and lazy types, hindered by bad habits, must have their rusty souls constantly scrubbed down. The weaker sorts will be helped and lifted from their bad opinions if we put them in the care of philosophy's principles. And that comes from Seneca, Moral Letters. And the explanation: Stoicism is not an evangelical religion. You're not obligated to save anyone. There is no risk of hell if a soul remains in ignorance of the teachings of Epictetus or Marcus Aurelius. But now that you've learned and studied a better path, you can be of service to others. You can share your wisdom or insight with a friend or stranger, remembering that behavior is always a better example than a lecture. Everyone deserves to benefit from philosophy's principles, as Seneca put it. If you see someone who is in need of help or has asked for guidance, provide it. You owe them that much. I think this one is fairly straightforward. It's reminding us to, I think, always be our best and always remember that how we act speaks louder than words. And there are, I think, times when we can use words or stories or lessons to other people, specifically if we've gone through a situation that someone might be facing. But I think typically, as the entry reminded us, how we act and how we behave is who we are. So if you want to show that it might be good to be kind to other people or act in a generous way, rather than telling people that do it yourself, donate or acknowledge someone on the side of the street. And oftentimes I think it's quite important to remember that people do see things that we may not realize that they're seeing. Oftentimes it's the small things about a person's personality that people remember, things that are so ingrained with who we are that we don't necessarily realize that we're doing. But people really see those things. So whether you're a generous person, whether you're a selfish person, or someone who's always sharing your food with other people, lending a helping hand, or doing something for people without expecting anything in return, those are obviously all good qualities. But the other, the same goes for negative qualities as well. Are you someone who's always complaining or someone who's always berating other people? So I think it's twofold here for me. The first being that how we act and how we conduct ourselves is something that people will often see and remember and relate to us. And the second thing, of course, is, yes, I think, spreading the word. So if you're in a position to positively impact someone, always remember to do it, specifically or especially in cases where it really isn't going to cost you anything other than potentially some time and effort. So if we finish this entry, we'll read the quotation again. And it says, some people with exceptional minds quickly grasp virtue or produce it within themselves, but other dim and lazy types, hindered by bad habits, must have their rusty souls constantly scrubbed down. The weaker sorts will be helped and lifted from their bad opinions if we put them in the care of philosophy's principles.